So the New Orleans Saints suffer their first, I would say, big loss of the free agency period or the legal tampering period for the NFL. Marcus Williams, star safety, obviously a player that we all would have loved to see stay on the New Orleans Saints. He is going to the Baltimore Ravens, 5 year, $70 million contract. And this isn't the first time we've seen a player that Saints fans love kind of go to Baltimore. We kind of had the same situation, not as lucrative of a deal with Mark Ingram a couple years ago. And I think this is actually a really good fit for Marcus Williams. It's a tough blow to the Saints, and I'll talk about that in a moment, what they kind of have to do now that Marcus Williams is out of the picture. But I do think it's a great fit for him. He joins his secondary with talented players like Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey and Chuck Clark. So I think it's a good fit for him there. I think he will do really well in Baltimore. And I think the number is a pretty fair number. I actually thought it'd be worth a little bit more. I thought Marcus Williams deserved somewhere in the 16 to $17 million range. I think that's probably what he was looking for. Ends up taking a little bit less now to go to Baltimore, but still 5 years, 70, good long-term security, good guaranteed money for this deal as well. And for the Saints now, what does it do? Well, it leaves a huge hole at safety. And I think with Marcus Williams, more than other defensive backs in this league, he's got a unique skill set in the sense that he's a true single high safety. And I think when you have a guy like that, he shores up so many issues for the back end. And there might be mistakes that might be made that you might not be able to tell were made because Marcus Williams is able to kind of cover up that mistake for the defense. He's that talented. He's got excellent range. And we've seen it the last couple of years, that range take over. And maybe he's not getting the interception number you want, but you saw year by year, especially under Dennis Allen and getting comfortable with the system, less big plays against the Saints defense. And that's something that drove us nuts for years and continues to drive us nuts as fans, but it's happened at a much lesser rate, I would say, with Marcus Williams in the back end. So Marcus is out of the picture. Obviously, that's a big blow, not just for this season, but for the future, because he is a true emerging star. And I thought he was, without a doubt, my top-rated safety going into free agency. Most people felt the same way. So how do you replace a guy like that? Well, I don't think you necessarily replace a Marcus Williams. It's very tough to replace his skill set. It's very tough to get that type of production for the years that he gave it to you for those 5 years. However, I do think if you're the New Orleans Saints, the no-brainer here for starters is re-signing PJ Williams. He knows the system. He knows what it takes. So you have that guy who's almost a chess piece, right? And I know PJ Williams early on in his career was trying to find where he fits in with the Saints. Well, I would say last season did an excellent job of really playing to his role. And I think when PJ's in that role where you could move him close to the line of scrimmage, you could let him play a little bit as a safety, you could let him get in the box, then you see his great zone skills, you see his ability to tackle, you just see a really physical player that the Saints are going to use. So I would love to see him back, but that's not enough to basically cover up the loss of Marcus Williams. You would need another good player. And I think that no-brainer type of good player would be Tyrann Mathieu. Now, Tyrann Mathieu's skill set is very different from Marcus Williams, but at the end of the day, he's a good football player. And that's what the Saints are trying to build. They're trying to build a team with a lot of good football players, obviously just like every other team in the league. And Tyrann Mathieu, though older at 29, still a productive player, still plays with a chip on his shoulder like he's just coming out of college, and it's never really going to change. That's just the way he goes about the game. He would give them more leadership in the locker room, which if you lose Terron Armstead, probably going to need that leadership, so that would be good for them. And then on top of it, I think that Tyrann Mathieu gives you yet again another chess piece. I can move him around. I've seen him play strong safety. I've seen him play free safety. I've seen him play nickel corner. So I think it is very interesting to see what he can do. You know, he would probably love the fan base here and would love to come back to Louisiana. So I think that would be a really good fit for them as well. Not saying that deal will happen, but I do think it is worth pointing out that he would be the guy that you lean towards, you gravitate toward when you say, hey, we need a replacement. Who's it going to be? Tyrann Mathieu, re-signing PJ Williams. That would be my answer. But that's my little recap right now. For Marcus Williams going to the Ravens, I wish him all the best. He really is an absolute great dude and a great football player. I hope he thrives in Baltimore. It's going to be tough seeing him playing there in the purple jerseys, but I do wish him all the best. And I'm interested to see how the Saints attack this now. How do you make up for losing a really, really good football player like Marcus Williams? It's going to be fascinating. I'm curious what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comment section below. Who do you think the Saints should go after? Are you all in on Honey Badger? Do you want PJ Williams back? Is it both, just like I said? I'm curious to hear your thoughts about it. And also, if you're tuning in and you don't yet subscribe to the Boot Crew Media YouTube page, make sure to give us a follow here. We're going to have more content in the future. Obviously, free agency, trade rumors going on with the Saints. I'll be here to cover it here for Boot Crew Media's YouTube page. So again, hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for more content. And always keep staying tuned with Straight Up Saints because it is the destination for the Who Dat Nation.